Here we are again. Tlu Sports, episode 2. Welcome.
Oh, I think we crossed the threshold of 15 listeners last week. Thank you very much.
I didn't want to tell you this, but we were one download behind Tongue Tied last week. So Nick's podcast had the highest downloads. We had the second highest.
Did we list on a new forum though, or on a new platform?
No, we didn't because it was I was running out of time, and your video last week. So to our watchers of the potty, they would have missed out. See, our numbers would have been gigantic. Patrick Allendorf, thank you for joining me. My name's Sam Wood. Welcome to Tlu Sports podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed last week's episode. I listened to it and I felt like it was, I don't know, a weight off my shoulder. You said that actually. It felt like I was just podcasting instead of trying to host and things like that.
Yeah, you weren't bloody Tony Barber. You turned into one of the contestants. It was quite refreshing.
Oh, thank you.
Here it is on The Price is Right.
So, come on.
Relax.
I just
mate.
want to see the... Hold on. 3... he's far out. We've got... Our two shows have the best numbers by far last week, and they are... It's so neck and neck. They're 7 downloads in front of us. They come up a day later, so... Come on, punters. Get your friends involved.
I did that first show naked too, so...
No one will ever know.
Footage didn't go through. Might have been a glare. Cheers, mate. On the Forex today.
Mate. On the Forex today. Joseph Sawali really saved us from a little bit of embarrassment last week. The Team Whiskey Multi nearly went 0 from 4.
I know, if it goes 0 from 4, we'll scull it you for sure. We should never be going 0 from 4. Do you know what? How often do you do it? I picked 2 right teams and just fucked up the margins. It really pissed me off.
I feel like you can't margin bet or anything like that. Even, I mean, I just had mine wrong last week, but with that first game. But just round 1, there's always going to be surprises. No bigger surprise came from Sunday afternoon. The mighty Dolphins, fins up.
I've got to say, I've been a fan since day dot.
Same. Oh, mate. You know how I love Queensland teams. 32,000 people at Suncorp Stadium. That's what everyone keep wondering what happened to the Roosters. The big crowd scared them off. They've never played in front of a crowd that size. And this is for the Finns, the Dolphins. I thought that was... As a Roosters supporter, I was fucking fuming, as you know. I was very angry Sunday. I was taking shots at everyone. Cranky. But, geez, I was happy for him, mate. I was happy for the Dolphins.
He kept sending me that sunburned head emoji.
Angry.
How cranky you were.
What did you take away from that? Did you watch the game, firstly?
I did, mate. I watched the game. I was very surprised. That they could do that to the Roosters. I couldn't believe how many of the Roosters were going down. It was like bloody... a war zone for them. Guys getting knocked out left, right and centre. Brings me to a point that I wanted to bring up on this show was after seeing guys like Victor Radley and Brandon Smith go down, when they go off for a HIA and they look in all sorts. Their eyes are looking the other ways and you're like...
cross-eyed.
They run back on. It's like the doctor just moved. Yeah, it's like the doctors just moved their eyes back to straight and thrown them back out there. Should they have to go back out in the headgear?
So... There's obviously been a lot of chat about this in the media this week. I don't know if you've been watching the shows and the papers and stuff. You're a newspaper reader, but they are Ricky Stewart. He wants to get rid of the independent doctor. So for anyone that doesn't know, the clubs have their own doctor's sideline, and then there's an independent doctor that sits in the bunker actually. Which, firstly, I think that's one of the issues. The independent doctor should be on the field, have access to all the cameras just like they do in the NFL. 19 HIAs this weekend, 14 of them instigated by club doctors, so only 5 were the independents. I don't think that's a huge concern, but there's a lot of HIAs, a lot, and something I can speak from a very experienced point is head injuries and concussions and things like that. I think in a sport like NRL, there has to be a helmet rule. There has to be something like I'm telling you now, in 10 years' time, everyone will be wearing helmets in all forms of the games, but there has to be
proper
something
helmets
like
or
that.
headgear. Headgear. Or
No,
helmet?
headgear.
It's about to say, put my bloody
No,
kid's
we can't.
helmet
There's
on
more,
and get
more
out on the
damage
field.
on the helmets. No, headgear. Like, you saw Kiri run around in one on the weekend, and he literally, and I heard him interviewing this morning. I was sitting in the studio this morning and listening to him. He popped up and he's like, and they said, what about the headgear? He goes, there was just one hanging around at training, so I chucked it on. I'm thinking, well, fuck, maybe a doctor should have said, hey, Luke, you're probably the most at risk for head injury and Alzheimer's and all these other horrible things that come from terrible concurrent concussions. You should be wearing a helmet. No, he just saw it in a kit bag and picked it up. See, that's ridiculous. And even the 10-day protocols and things like that, everyone should be treated specific to the head injury, my personal opinion. If they pass the head injury assessment, they should be allowed to go back on. And if they have more than a certain amount of head injuries during the year, yes, I think a helmet should be.
We get it. I feel you. I understand where you're going with it. But I don't want to take this too far. But this stuff without the headgear, it reminds me of the guy that wears or should be wearing steel caps at work and says, no, I'm good. I don't need any steel caps. And then he chops
Who works
his
with a
toe
bloke
off.
like that? Shouldn't he?
Yeah.
I know, he chopped his toes off in steel caps.
Yeah, because he was dropping stuff on his steel caps. But I don't know what, if the stuff is there to help you play more safer and you are prone to getting head knocks, then you should be wearing a headgear.
Yeah.
Stop stuffing
Those headgears
around.
that come down over your mandible as well, gets rid of broken jaws and things like that. But I don't understand why clubs wouldn't be encouraging of that. Keeps their players in the game.
Especially for Victor Radley.
Mate, it's just ridiculous.
But yeah, I reckon that was part of the Dolphins' win, that there were so many of the Roosters guys going down that their continuity and their ability to build pressure just wasn't there. I don't think Dolphins won it in the halves. They won it because their forwards are just so smart to keep old and experienced to keep just bowling over them. And our man
we bagged him last
Kaufusi.
week. We bagged him last week, but Felice Kaufusi, the player of the round, in my opinion.
Feliz Navidad.
Well, good night.
I just think nothing improves him like a good bagging. He probably listened.
He might have. We have a few players that listen.
That was the rock he needed.
There's a big leg up fan in that team, so maybe he did get tipped into it. But far out, we might have had a lot to do with Kaufusi absolutely folding blokes in half, including Brandon Smith, his ex playing partner, and he was just killing him. I loved it.
Jeez, he hit Smith that hard. I think Smith thought he was still playing for Melbourne.
Oh,
he's definitely broke a
insane.
rib.
That was insane. He was phenomenal, Kaufusi, but he
Hang on.
definitely
Can you
showed.
tell us who's your man? Who's your man that's the fan of the show?
Sean.
What's his last name though?
Sullivan.
We're just flicking the O.
Is he O'Sullivan? I get it wrong every time.
Are we flicking the O'Sullivan still?
Oh, okay, so it's O'Sullivan. I didn't know he was Scottish.
You said to the other day, mate, Sean Sullivan's a big fan of the show. I said, no idea who that is. I know Sean O'Sullivan.
I thought I said Sean O'Sullivan and I got that wrong. That's why I locked in Sullivan. But he was playing against his brother-in-law, his soon-to-be brother-in-law, Matt Lodge. But, they really missed a Jared Warrior-Hargraves. Lindsay Collins was good, but they were gassed. They were just...
Mate,
they were out of their seat. I expect a huge
Joey
comeback
Manu.
from the Roosters this week. Joey Manu's back this week. I'm not sure why Jared's out. I think there are...
After that
Sorry,
pathetic bit of history that they got themselves involved in first up, how you couldn't be launching into them at $1.15 against the Warriors. I think that would be a stupid bet.
They're not into $1.15. The line's only 11.5.
Yeah, they're $1.15, $1.17 against the Warriors.
$1.25 with sports bet.
Oh, we're saying names. Taking names.
This podcast doesn't care. This podcast.
I'll tell you a story.
You put a sponsored shirt on tonight.
Oh, that's just a little Sydney White discount shirt that I've been wearing around there at 233 Victoria Road, right on me, obviously, doing the best and cheapest white goods in all of Sydney.
TJC called it the discount store.
The discount scraps store.
The junkyard.
Selling scraps to junkies down there. Yes, TJC, we are. Then just skulls a sugar-free solo.
Wow. If you haven't listened to Locked In, go and listen to it. It was a cracker this evening. What were you about to say, mate?
He's an absolute weapon. Mate, you threw me off my train of thought. I actually got a story for you. I haven't told you this story yet. So I had my my punting budget set out for last week, sort of mentally in my mind on the Wednesday, knew how much I wanted to outlay for the week. And then I thought, fuck, Para look a good bet, don't they? So I had the whole thing on Para.
Oh.
So
that is you to a T. That is you to a T.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? 16-12 at one point. Oh, no, but I also threw in over 38.5 points. And then when I saw that it wasn't going to get to 38.5 points, I was like, geez, I hope the Storm just beat them by 60. Did you ever see that?
No. Oh, sorry, yeah,
No?
Death Ride. Yeah, Death Ride. But I thought you meant punt your whole stack before you get to the races. I have kind of done that. I think we've done that.
I pushed the chips in. Push the chips in on a Thursday night.
Chips in early.
Chips in on a Thursday night. I'll tell you what, though. I wouldn't have, after watching the races Saturday, I would not have backed a winner.
Oh, well, yeah, it was a tough day on Saturday. We were lucky to get members got home. That was a winning day for them. Yeah, it was tough. I just found the footy really tough to bet on this weekend, and I remember it's always like that. I think I had the $100 my double, and then I think I had $25 on the team whiskey multi, and that was cooked. So by the time it came to the last leg, Suali, I think we had something going in our punters club, but our punters club was killing me as well on Sunday. I'd had it with everybody. People sending through bets 4 minutes before the game starts. Come on, there's 6 adults here. Surely we can just put something together.
Wanted to bet at the netball, the NBL.
Oh, yeah, everything. That's you as well. Your weekend as well. You go, let's have a big bet. Let's have a big multi here. Let's kick it off with... What was it, Pat?
Who? Where? Para?
What was the first leg of our... No, what was the first leg of our Sunday multi for the Punters Club that you threw in?
Oh, yeah, I've barred the sevens. The rugby sevens in Canada. The Kiwis in the rugby sevens. I didn't, mate. In fairness, I didn't know they weren't going to do the haka. There's no hope when they don't do the haka before the game.
They don't do the haka for an 8-minute game or whatever it is. It doesn't get.
I needed them. I had a bad form book because it said they'd won 100% of the time when they'd done the haka before a game. So that may be why, because they never do.
Okay, yeah. Well, no more betting on the rugby sevens, especially against Australia. How un-Australian that was, but. Actually, I've got one for you this weekend. Un-Australian, yeah, no haka. You're very patriotic, Maori.
I needed that haka.
I reckon Ricky Fowler. He's in form at the moment. We're talking about the Players' Championship really quickly. The golf this weekend. This is, for any of you new to golf, the Players' Champs is what they would class as probably the 5th major. It's not a major. That's not one of the
30 million
probably,
prize money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one Cam Smith won last year. It's at TPC Sawgrass, which is probably top 5 most difficult courses for tour players. Ricky has won there before. He's run the Players before. He is in form. I think he's about 50 to 1 to win it. But he's $3.40 for a top 20. John Rahm's in unbelievable form. He's $9 favourite. But I tell you what, if you are going to have a bit, and I love a golf bet because you get to follow it all weekend. Soon, I wake up in the morning. This is me in my blanket when I've got a golf bet on. I wake up and I go, oh, and I quickly run out and I flick the TV on because you get to see the end. You see the leaders board because it's still finishing up over there. Oh, it's what dreams are made of. Kids, daddy, breakfast. I said, just fucking wait. I don't know. Where's Ricky? Where's Ricky? Where is he? Where's Ricky? But yeah, Ricky Fowler, he's definitely a bet. Outright, John Rahm outright for your bigger bet, and then Ricky top 20. Top 20.
Where does this come from?
I bet on all the golf. I love betting on the golf.
This is I thought because they wouldn't let the live players play, you might have just been a little bit off it.
Oh, well, they can play in some of them. They can't play in this one. But
not in this one.
I tell you what, this was sad. I started watching the Netflix documentary of Full Swing.
Brilliant.
Which is great. Yeah, really good. I'm halfway through. And
I'll ruin the ending for you.
The tour split. Some go to live golf. They talk about Brooks Koepka talks about how bad his form is and how long it's been since he's won a major tournament. And my last, I'm sitting there going, oh, I remember when he won that, and I'm like, that's the last time I picked the winner in a tournament. About 3 years ago now. I only bet the majors, so that's only 12 losing bets in a row, maybe 13. But this weekend's my weekend. John Rahm or Ricky Fowler, they're gonna bounce back. Have a bet.
John Rahm. Well, technically, yeah. So it's the pseudo fifth major.
Yeah,
it's like the Australian.
Yeah, I'll bet on this in the four majors. It's like the Australian Open. Australian Open's part of the Slam, isn't it?
No, let me finish. In the tennis.
Yeah, it's part of the Slam.
Australian Open's part of the Slam, but surely is it really part of the Slam? Like, if you had your choice to win one of the majors, would you go, oh, geez, I love that Australian Open?
I'll tell you now, punters, if we're still going during tennis season, or whenever the fuck that is, or when the Australian Open's on, we're not tipping that. Because I can't, as much as I bet it, I can't stand it. It's fucking boring, tennis. Sorry.
And
that's coming from a bloke that likes back and playing golf and betting on golf. But, tennis is too, I don't know.
Yeah,
what's your most
pretty nimble
what's the sport? Yeah, I'm good at tennis. Don't you worry about me. I'm good at tennis. But yeah, what's the sport that
stick you at the net?
You bet on? Oh, we're playing doubles. Okay. You're doing backcourt.
I thought we'd be doubles. I'll do backcourt. Oh, you duck. I'm serving.
Oh,
duck. I'm serving. Oh, I hit ya.
Duck. That's cricket.
With me racket.
Give me some sports you won't bet on. I mean, the truth is, we'll probably bet on them at some point. Punters Club's in. But what stuff do you hate betting on? I'll say tennis is one for me.
Basketball.
See, basketball I don't mind because I hit that 15 to 1 multi in the last 6 months. It makes me think
but the
fucking basketball punt.
Yeah, that's he said. Oh, missed by one leg today.
Missed by one leg. 10 of them. Fucking 10 of them.
You put your bet on. Yeah, but you put your bet on. The next game's already started. Oh, I've missed that game. Oh, shit. I missed that. There's 4 million games going. And then it's like betting baseball's the same. They're playing the same team 2 days later, 3 days later, or like it just is. There's a lot of
baseball.
A lot of games going on there.
I like betting the NBA because when I come into the office, there's always the basketball on and stuff like that. Oh, fuck, I'm in the office all day. I'll have a bet. But tennis for me,
that's because the other boys are ballers.
Ballers. They're ballers. We still haven't got. We bought a fucking $1,000 basketball ring and it's fucking sitting there in the box in the garage in the warehouse. It hasn't been hung up. Apparently that's happened Friday. But the other one I will say,
they're not handy, man. They're ballers.
I mean, cricket, the Big Bash and stuff like that. I can't. I will, but I can't.
The Big Bash, no. Tests as well.
Yeah, I don't know. We had someone in our punters club launching into cricket over the summer, and it stunk. It stunk, Pat.
Oh, that was Wolfie. That was Wolfie, though. His bet stunk. He was trying to tell us that India were no hope in India. It's like literally.
So we got done for 90 or something, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought we got a head shit.
Did you see the Luai and Jamin Salmon having like their little tiff after the game? Made me think of that because you were always one to square your own players up and bring them back into.
On the field, off the field.
Even when they were on the field and you're off the field.
Yeah, whenever they needed it, I was there to square them up.
Yeah,
do you know what?
What did you think of that?
I was watching that game with Ricky Stewart, and he's like, that weak dog. Oh, yeah. I told you. I told you. Do you know what?
Weak-gutted dogs are great. Great. Yeah,
it's in the vernacular now. It's in... Yeah, that's an Aussie saying now, weak-gutted dog, surely. Do you know what?
So what did you think of that?
I love them getting into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean...
We love the theatre.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Go.
You go.
No, I wasn't...
I said we love the theatre of it all. You want them to be human, and you want them... These are the funnest parts of it, is actually seeing them be human, not just play the game. When it's them being human and no one's getting hurt, I don't see why it's not encouraged. That, like, people try to shoot him down for, doing it in front of the camera or creating arguments within the team. It's like, this is what it's all about. This is what competition's all about. Let's not act like it's bloody tiddlywinks.
I had no problems with the action itself. Keep me up. Luai and To'o and all those guys, you see them Origin time, you see them everything. The bloke was best man at To'o's wedding and wore sunnies for the speech that he absolutely slaughtered. The bloke knows where the camera is at all time. That's one thing I will say. I don't question the spray. I don't question anything, but I question probably the motive, knowing that the camera would have been 2 metres away from him, and he kept going. And I was more surprised, and it could have been a fact that it looks like there's unrest at Penrith, blah blah blah. But Luai, the senior player, which, hold on, by the way, he came out later and labelled it as a courageous conversation. I don't know. I don't think you can just call stuff you do courageous. Like, I had too much to drink on the weekend on Saturday night. I didn't wake up the next morning and go, geez, that was a courageous effort on the piss to drink that much. But yeah, I thought it was very odd, and Luai rubs me the wrong way anyway. Yeah, I was courageous, thinking I'd get away with it for the missus, but I feel like he would have known exactly where the camera was, and he kept going. Whether there's motive there or anything like that, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, and also this is not a big fucking deal. 100 of these conversations would have happened in the 80 minutes on the field.
Yeah, but it's to do it after they'd lost like that. It's being a bit of a losing brat. That's
who, Luai or the weak-gutted dog?
Luai. Mate, the weak-gutted dog, he was just tired. That's why he couldn't make it to his spot. He said that. Mate, I was just fucking tired. Do you know what?
Why would you ever say that?
Yeah. Oh, how often have you been at work and the boss is just grinding and you're like, mate, I'm just fucking tired.
I'm just tired.
Can't I just sit here and do nothing?
Oh,
God. I don't want to play State Origin.
He needs to go for HIA because you don't sit there and you get scared. How come he didn't make... I was tired. I got there every other time, but that time I was tired.
Jerome, I don't want to play State of Origin. I want to have me lungs. I want to have an air full of lungs full of air.
A lung full of air or an air full of lung.
I had to laugh at that. He just straight out said, yeah, I'm tired. I should have been there.
I tell you, now,
Okay.
you love seeing that. Imagine being Penrith supporter. You see where you're losing players to other clubs, but you've got these young blokes coming through. They're a little bit tired, but
there's Jerome Bentao, sleepy boy,
sleepy on the ball, sleepy. Look, we've got a big round of footy this weekend. Just to sign off from round one, we did shit on the punt, but God, it was an entertaining round of football. Really entertaining round of football, I'll say that. And for me, Dolphins on top, Kafusi the king. King Kafusi. I can't wait for Origin time. He'll be fucking folding Blues players. It's going to be brilliant. Got the new, what do you reckon of that?
Legally doing it too. The new Maroons hat.
Yeah, I know. He's so good at it. Yeah, the new Maroon hat. For Queenslanders, I reached out to my man at Andrew Ports at Punt Hub, just because he's a big Broncos fan. I said, Broncos limited edition leg up hat. Get it before their season falls off a cliff. But yeah, they look freaking good, eh?
Yeah, they're gun. Can't
wait for Origin.
Some for us.
Let's get into this round. Have you finalised your bet? I'm a bit all over the place. Kick us off.
I have, mate.
Kick us off.
I have. Do you know what? Take me down to the Queensland Derby, brah. The Queensland Derby, boys. There'll be some 4Xs sunk on that day. Friday night at 8 p.m. I'd hate to be a 4X.
All four Queensland teams, 4X. All four Queensland teams roll into round two with a win against their name, and we get to watch Broncos take on Cowboys. This is going to be an absolute. That Friday night. Thursday night you've got Penrith Souths, which Souths were fantastic last weekend, but Penrith will have something to prove coming off the back of that loss, and then being in the headlines all week. I think they'll probably come back and come back with a vengeance. Then we've got Para into the Sharks. I don't know what to make from the Sharks. People were drubbing Para, including our group chat, including me, but they went down to Storm by a point. Like, I think Para's a good bet on Friday night, but fuck, straight into that. What? Storm what?
Storm had plenty of things wrong. They had no Pappenhausen. Munster went down bad finger.
Bad finger.
Para had about 80% of the ball. Like, it was a...
I know.
It was
They should
have
won it, but still. But yeah, Broncos, Cowboys, 7 o'clock Queensland time on Friday night. This is going to be an absolute stormer at Suncorp Stadium. What's your bet here? What are you liking?
There'll be a few Queensland arcers done there. No offence to Hope, obviously.
The Queensland
but there'll be a few 4Xs chugged and then smashed on your head, won't there?
Oh yeah, that's called the Caxton Harker.
The Caxton Harker, okay. But yeah, mate, I'm all for the Cowboys plus 2.5 start over 41.5 points for this game. Let me tell you what. There's that many attacking options in this game. I reckon the adrenaline will be high. I don't reckon the defence will be... It'll be a hit out the first 10, 20 minutes, and then I think this game will loosen up a bit and we'll see a heap of football played. And there is just so many playmakers and so many running options in this game that I think it'll be a really high-scoring game. And I reckon it'll probably go over 50, but happy to take that at $3.80.
So hold on, wait. Let me just have a quick look. So you've gone Cowboys plus 2. Is that the line, or is that an alternative line?
That's the line. No, that's the actual line. They're outside.
Who are you betting with? Because I've got 2.5 the line.
Ladbrokes.
I've got 1.5 the line.
Oh, that's Laddies, brah.
Okay.
That's Ladbrokes.
Okay. Well, we'll just split the difference here. But 1.5 here is with Sportsbet. 1.5 is the line. Would you take that?
Mate,
if that's the?
I'd probably prefer the 2.5, but I still think Cowboys are going to cover it. I'm thinking Cowboys might blow them away. I reckon that first up hit out for the Broncos was a bit favourable to them for the simple fact that Penrith scored early and then I think they went to sleep. Then it pissed down rain, which made the game closer than it probably should have been. So,
Broncos
Cowboys team.
Fans. Herbie Farnsworth had 2 birthdays in a row. and then, they just locked it in.
Best name in rugby league.
Herbie, yeah. He's English, isn't he? He's a Peaky Blinder.
First and last name, though. They'd be top three for both first and last name in all of rugby league. Herbie and Farnsworth.
Herbie Farnsworth. Plus 2.5 Cowboys. And did you say over 41.5?
Over 41.5 points.
Okay.
I think the Cows can really put on a score. They led the Raiders 18-0 before they went to sleep.
Yeah, I know. What happened there? I actually missed that game, but I thought they're flying here because we had Cowboys 13.5 in the bet, plus 13.5, plus 13. Sorry, and sorry, not plus 13. 13 over 13 points, and they went to bed. I think I was going to bed when I was watching that match. But
Ricky's head was going to explode. Ricky's head was going to explode. So the Canberra Raiders they switched on for a bit, but I think it was more the Cowboys just switching off. They just got into cruise control and just dropped the ball a bit. So, but yeah, that's my first league. Do you want to roll straight into my second league?
Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Give me straight in. Have you got all the odds here? Because I'm not going to be able to keep up. Okay, give me a second.
I got the odds here.
Yeah, okay. Give me, what game
my second league is Dragons Titans. Sunday the 6:15 game. You've got to wait all weekend to get the end of this multi.
I think this is a great betting game.
Titans minus 1.5.
Titans.
For the simple reason.
Minus 1.5.
Minus 1.5. So just 196 on the line.
Hold on. We need to start looking at the same bookie. So have you got what have you got the head-to-head prices on this? What head-to-head prices on this?
The head-to-head price, I don't have them up in front of me right now, but they that was the line. So obviously the line may have blown out a little bit, but the early line was 1.5 plus 1.5 Dragons, minus 1.5 Titans.
I've got it the other way.
It may have swung.
Bet. No, it hasn't. Titans have on Sportsbet, because I wanted to bet this game as well, and I wanted to see what we were having for the Team Whiskey multi, but it's Dragons have always been favourite in this game, which I don't fucking get. Whether Sportsbet's just having a bit of a little malfunction. What did we see last week with the Titans? Like, I understand the Tigers, they kept dropping the ball, and why they didn't play Appy, why they didn't start Appy, I've got no idea.
Oh, not Appy. Not Appy.
Dim Sheen, he's not all there if he's not playing Appy.
I'd be like Mr. Sheen.
Titans were phenomenal.
Benji was like, come here, bro. Don't worry about it. Heads up, boys. Heads up, boys. It's going to be a long season of this.
Fucking hell, it's going to be a long season, but even, Titans doing that at Leichhardt too. Like, that was a great, and we spoke about the Titans last week, but yeah, I think Titans a definite bet. You've even gone Titans minus 1.5.
Yeah,
I like it.
I reckon the fact that Dragons are underdone coming off the bye first up, so they've been trialling against each other, which is nowhere near game intensity. So I reckon Titans coming out of Leichhardt, they get this one. I know it's at Oakey, which is probably quite similar, but they've got the fitness under their belt. Great team lineup, even without Bo Fermor, who's gone down injured. It's I reckon they'll have Dragons number. Dragons are still sort of juggling halves and 5/8 up until yesterday or the day before. So I don't know. I think this could be a very shaky Dragons team, and I think we could see Griffin as the first coach to go.
He is in the hottest seat, isn't he? He's in the hot seat. What's going on with
Peter
this?
Griffin.
What's going on with this Dragons player that is playing or he's not playing? He's been stood down. He chased a bloke with a hammer and the bloke fell off the roof. What's going on there?
Talatau Mane. He's a gun player, but he's obviously got some issues. I think from all reports, the story was allegedly that he the old man saw some tradies parked on their median strip and got into a stink with him, and they chased him up onto a roof, and they had hammers, and the blokes fell off the roof, and
Jesus,
it was a whole shitstorm. Yeah, and then he ran off and went to training, or went somewhere else, and I don't know. They found him, but that's allegedly that's what they've written in the paper, but. Could be anything. We'll wait. So they're going to wait until the results of that come out before they either stand him down or apologise. Maybe I don't know.
Was he arrested?
From what he was arrested. Yes.
So is he playing this week or not playing this week?
He's playing reserve grade. So did this happen about?
But would he have played first? Would he have played first grade if this?
He would have been starting 5'8", 100%.
I think that's well handled. What do you think?
I think if there's violence, and mate, the club would know if he's guilty or not. Surely, if there's violence involved, you're gone. I think violence.
Gone to what level? Do you mean like suspended or cancel contract?
Stood down until the results come out. Until the results come out of his case. He should be at least stood down. Because if he's being violent towards someone, if you chase someone with a hammer, like you kill someone chasing them if you hit him with a hammer.
Yeah, hammer's not a fun toy to be playing with.
No. If he just got in a stink with someone...
but that makes no difference. Your king hits someone and they hit their head on the ground as they fall and they die like it's...
That's what I'm saying, though. If he just stood in front of someone at a fight, fair enough. There's just two blokes going at it. But when you're chasing someone with a hammer, that sort of violence is just that's the top level. I can't wrap my head around it. If it's true, gone. I guess we just sit here and wait and give them the benefit of the doubt and see what happens. See how it plays out in the long run.
I think if these guys still need to earn a crust, like you don't get stood down from work if you do something wrong. I've actually had something happen at my work where a bloke was accused and arrested for something quite badly, went to lock up, did the whole thing, and then when he was released, came back to work, and it was kind of one of those things you're not really sure where you stood, and we had to support him because he's part.
Was that the public masturbation thing? Was that one?
Third strike and you're in jail for 6 months. No, something happened, and this bloke got accused of something really bad, and we didn't know how to take it. We've got ladies in our office and things like that, and we threw our arms around him because we trusted him because these players would be saying to their coaches, "Mate, I didn't do anything." It's true or not, you've got to take him on face value, but it turns out he was completely innocent and it was all made up. But what do you do with this kid? Like, you stand him down, you limit his potential to earn or his potential to forward his career. I think if you put him back to reserve grade like they have, it's not a bad... I think you might lose privileges. Yeah. Maybe the privilege is first grade. But, yeah, like, he's still got to be able to do his job to a certain extent. They're going to pay him. They can't just not pay him. Oh, case of beer.
That's on silent. He must have called me 100 times.
Oh, what? If you call someone 100 times, your phone stops being silent. I didn't know that. The new Apple hack.
It might be me watch actually. Mate, that was actually that was the button to move on.
Oh, was it? Sorry, I can't reach the buttons on this podcast, but okay. So let's just run through your bets again. Sorry, I got sidetracked again. Love chatting sport. We still haven't come up with our like hotline or whatever we're going to do. We just do auto recording. Give us your hot take.
Oh, you got to flick us one of your burner phones that you use instead of just snapping off and throwing the bin.
Oh, God, hang on.
Yeah, flick us one of them. Flick. Yeah. So leg up to any branded ones of them.
Yeah, new iPhone. I need a new iPhone.
You know what my iPhone does? Every time I just put it down, it just keeps lighting up. Lights up. Just by itself.
Mate, my phone, I think you know this, but my phone, I was walking through here, the little downstairs area of the Lego.
Smashed it.
Yeah, it dropped it. I had it and it slipped out of my hand from 3 foot, shattered the back. Brand new phone, like iPhone 14, like Pro. I can't remember how much it cost, like two and a half grand, and shattered the back of it, and it's fucked. Like the other night, I'd come home from work late, walked in, put my phone on the kitchen bench, walked into our bedroom, and Elisa's sitting there, and her watch starts ringing. She goes, "You're calling me?" So my phone just randomly called her. It completely overheats. It loses battery. Apple, and you know what? I had a cover. I felt like my hand slipped. I had a cover, and I was so angry that this cover didn't protect it. And I went to write a review about this cover because I just didn't know, because it's $1,000 to repair the back of my phone.
Fuck.
And I checked out the reviews, and there's about 30 other reviews of people saying it's the slipperiest phone case they've ever handled.
I wanted to buy the one called Keiko Soap.
I will never, let me bag him, I will never buy a case from slipperyfish.com. Just went straight out of it. Whoopsie daisies.
You bloody slippery mackerel.
All right, we'll come up with something. We need a hotline or something. I want to hear from the punters. But we've had good feedback. We've got a lot of bagging. That's what happens when you put your tips out. Some bloke was into me the other day, or on Sunday, because he said Dolphins win. I said, you need to be going for a HIA. And the minute I picked up my phone and the notification came up, the fucking minute the Dolphins won, I had a notification from the bloke.
Who was that, Blake?
I love. I don't know. Just one of the punters, mate. Someone that inputs and adds to the pages, which we love. Probably some sort of legend, but roll through your bet again, and then I'll add into it.
With that phone of yours, let's give out your personal number, and then that phone can just become the burner phone for you.
What is my personal number? 0438
Oh, yeah, good.
Give us your bet.
My Titans minus $1.5, $1.96 into Cowboys plus 2.5, over 41.5 points in the game at $3.80.
Woo! I'm going for a little kill this weekend.
Okay,
I want to get our money back from last week with a little bit of something on top. So this is our bigger bet. This is what we're going for. I think Roosters easily do the Warriors here. I'm going a little bit different from you. You're looking at the pick'em games, the ones that have the closer odds. I'm going for hopefully the faves, just to get us some something.
Don't tell me you're not putting it at $1.17. You're getting your meaty end up, aren't you? You're putting
Roosters minus 9.5. Surely they do the Warriors by 10 points at home at $1.70.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then I've got the Storm to beat the Bulldogs at $1.40. Now, I would just say, if you're going off what you saw with Melbourne last week and you're going off what you saw with the Bulldogs last week, I think Melbourne Storm at $1.40 is a great bet, because the market or the bookies are kind of predicting that bounce back from the Bulldogs. And from what I saw from the Bulldogs, I don't know if there's that bounce back. Reid Marnie was fantastic. We spoke about him last week. He's an absolute champion. He'll do well for that club, but a lot of other players need to step up. I think Melbourne handle them. Absolutely handle them.
Yeah, the only thing...
Do you think this is a danger game?
Well, the only thing is just Munster out, Tyrone Wishart in. I don't get it, but at the same time, you sort of go, Jerome Hughes was quiet last week.
Yeah,
if
surely
he
steps
up into the Munster role.
Harry Grant
because
was huge
without Munster last week. Yeah, but Munster was also 2 tries, or try and a half at least. In that dummy show and go thing. If Jerome Hughes sort of steps up and does that, it's all about these guys that can just change the game that 1 or 2%, like Munster can. But yeah, I don't know. That's you're right about the Bulldogs across the park. They look lacking. They never looked like really being in that game.
Just like DCE and Queensland captain, but he I've never seen him ragdoll a team like that. Like, what did he score a hat trick? Like I got. I've never seen DCE play like that. And I just think he just had
video
run
of
of
you
it.
standing on the... Yeah, the video you sent me of you standing on the table saying, "Oh, captain, my captain," that was a bit much. I thought you've never supported Manly, and now you're on the DCE train.
I love him. But yeah, no, I think Bulldogs are way off it, and I don't know what's going on there. I think they seem to have all the parts, but yeah, I think $1.40 to take Storm to beat them. I think that's a great little bet. So I'll have a bigger bet on that, and then I'll have the smaller bet for me on our Team Whiskey multi, which if yours, so I think
it's going to be
Team Whiskey.
Going to be a bloody tough old year for Reed Marnie, I'd say.
That's a $9 multi for the team. That'd be nice.
What for Team Whiskey? I think it'd be fatter than that.
No, I'm only adding $2.40.
$3.80. What for? Yeah. $2.40 your whole multi. No, it's $17.80 the multi.
Well, what's yours? $3.80. Oh, is the same game?
$3.80.
Sorry,
$3.80. Yeah.
Yeah.
$1.96. $17 multi.
You got the old fucking calculator out, don't you?
I do. It's huge. Look at the biggest calculator you've ever seen.
Crunch your numbers. Oh, man uses that calculator in the office.
Yeah, it's the best.
But that's it, mate. That's.
I got two.
You want to add? What
I'll
else
give you
got?
one.
Oh yeah, well, you got two.
Yeah, two.
Two hands. Fucking the cruncher.
It's a beautiful mind, baby. You got to crunch them on both hands.
Stop
What's
drawing
this
on the
hand
fucking
doing?
walls,
Crunching with
beautiful
this
mind.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, mate. I can't wait. Second week up of footy. Sort of got to try and start organising and fitting your life around it now.
Yeah, I know. I missed a couple of really key games that I wanted to watch this weekend as well because I just feel like it blindsided me. And I love the Aussie rules too. And that starts next week. And I don't know how I'm going to fit in, the best part of 40 hours of sport over 3 or 4 days. So I tell you what, the king of time of time saving is the minis on Foxtel and KO. To be able to digest a game that quickly is fantastic. Great for betting. Great for betting if you're not sure what something's doing.
I watched the mini of the All-Stars versus the Maoris game, and I was speaking to a good friend of ours, Sally, who's done a lot of marketing around the Roosters and that, and I go, fuck, what about the intensity in that game? She's like, you've just watched the mini, haven't you? And I go, yeah, do you know? She goes, because literally the three things you've told me about the high intensity in the game were the only three high intensity things in the entire game. The rest of the game was a slug. I was like, damn it, got me.
Yeah, I love KO minis or whatever the Foxtel minis, the mini version of consuming football. If you can sit there and knock out the best part of 6 or 7 games during the weekend, and then you've got all week to kind of, you got Monday and Tuesday night, you've got to digest NRL 360, AFL 360, 100% footy, talking footy, and then you got the minis. It's non-stop.
I read the paper. If they say something worthwhile enough, the paper just jumps on it, launches into it.
Yeah, the papers are good. The paper's a good kind of snippet, But I love having the telly on the whole time. I've got at the other office. It's open air, so the office girls have to watch all the KO minis and stuff like that. It's okay.
Fuck, should get them to do a show.
They should. Girls
and footy.
Any hot takes? Have you got any hot takes? I think Titans. Titans is going to be a great. Titans was the team. I was happy with Titans head to head.
Mate, my hot take
for the thing, but I'm.
My hot take is a big Queensland weekend. Cowboys.
Another big Queensland weekend.
Another big Queensland weekend. And I will tell you what, if you're a little bit out there, if the Dolphins can beat the Roosters, then I don't know, I'm happy to eat my words and hope that they keep winning. I'm watching the bloody documentary now with Wayne.
Oh, I just got Stan to watch it.
Oh, it's excellent.
Is it?
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, okay,
Mate,
great.
it's all
so
access.
much good shit to watch.
It's
How
all
good,
access.
How good sport. What, you see him in the showers and everything? Fuck yes.
Yeah, just imagine
The big
Wayne
porpoise.
Bennett
What was that?
like
Whose blowhole's that?
like boom out, or Felice. Smash him. Now smash him.
Well, smash me.
He doesn't say much, Wayne. Oh,
Yeah. What about
That's a good thing to end on, I'd say.
Oh, okay, all right. But Wayne in the press conference was quintessential Wayne. That was so good. Pretty good, hey?
Yeah.
That was just, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. So, even though they were no good to us, the Dolphins in regards to
Nah.
my team and
I think
that, we
they
still
would've-
got our
they
bet
would've
up in that game. Luckily.
They would have confettied a lot of multis.
Yeah, bloody oath. Thank you, sir. Thank you, punters. Bit of fun. Next week, big week. Hopefully, we're riding on a few with a bit of cash from the team whiskey multi, our individual multis. Ricky Fowler might have just swept away with the players' champs, or John Rahm. Either way, we're going to have two horses in the race.
Ricky.
Yeah, and then we're going to go with AFL and NRL next week. I'm going to give you some AFL. We're going to win money on the AFL this year. We are going to win. It won't be huge talking points because I know a lot of our audience is NRL. But there'll be bits and pieces. We'll be talking about kind of the top, say, 3 stories of the week or whatever we kind of take fancy at. We don't really kind of set it up for us to just knock it down with an opinion, but it's going to be a lot going on. A lot going on next week. Punters, if you haven't joined Members Only, get involved. If you haven't got involved with our Golden Slipper Punters Club, do yourself a favour. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, big guy.
Bye.